I was lost, but now I know who I am. I'm the Hebrew son. I wandered through the shadows, looking for the light. Taught to hate my own reflection, caught in lies so tight. But the book opened up and I saw my name. The truth came rushing like a holy flame. I'm not a slave, I'm a son of a king. Judah runs in my blood, I was born to sing. The covenant lives in the breath I breathe. Yes, hand pulled me out, now I believe. Oh, I am the Hebrew son, from the tribe where the lion comes from. You tried to strip my name, but I overcome. The Most High called me by his tribe. I am the Hebrew son. My soul remembers where I come from. A chosen light under your sun. No weapon form can make me run. They told me I was nothing, just another name. But my father wrote my story before I ever came. They hid my crown, tried to blind my eyes, but the Ruach whispered you were born to rise. Do not rise. Oh, Zion is calling, dry bones are walking. I hear the chauffeur sound in the night. The sun is rising, a new day dawning. We walk in power, dressed in light. I am the Hebrew son, no more hiding, I won't run. Yeah, has written my song, and to his arms I belong. Call me by my name, I am not the same. I'm the Hebrew son, the battle's already won. I was laced from a white stone, and in the stone a new name.
Shalom, family. Good to see you all here. I hope you're doing well. We're going to talk about Erica Kirk and this town hall that she had on CBS, which I don't know who came up with this, but it was a horrible idea. The bottom line is Erica Kirk has just some weird mannerisms when she speaks. Number one, she's not a very well spoken person. Somebody really need to work with her before she gets on the air. Now, I know she was an actress and all that, but not a very good one. Number two, I somebody made a comment that when Charlie was unalive, Turning Point USA pretty much went with them. And I really believe that. I don't believe this woman, she is never going to have the same notoriety that Charlie had. She it just when she speaks, she goes out in left field. She stares up at the ceiling. She dabs her eye with some tissue. She's saying some weird stuff. I know that's why everybody is saying she don't seem like much of a grieving widow. And what does she need a town hall for? She's not running for office. Really, nobody knew who she really truly was until Charlie was unalive. She's really a nobody. I mean, do anybody care whether you see this woman again or not? No, nobody cares. And they are literally shoving her down our throats at this point. People are not going to warm up to this woman. They're just not. They're not warming up to her. Even the people that look like her are not warming up to this woman at all. So, and come on. She feels the same way about people like us that Charlie did, you know? And you got to hear some of her answers, and she's full of crap. But the ratings were real low. They lost a lot of money on this town hall that they came up with. And CBS, you deserve the low ratings that you got. This was a very bad plan. It was a very bad idea. When did y'all start putting these right wing people on there anyway? Turning Point USA, really CBS? Really? So anyway, let's get to it. But you know who seems to be the most gleeful about the whole thing? The people that look just like Erica Kirk. They seem to be the most gleeful that this town hall just tanked. They seem to be very happy about it. But unfortunately, is it the end of seeing Erica Kirk? Hell no. They're going to be pushing this woman in front of us, whether you want to see her or not, all through 2026. Like I said, she's dry. She doesn't have much of a personality, but you're going to ultimately see her a lot more than you did Charlie Kirk. All right, let me share my screen. All right, please give me a one if you can see my screen. Thank you.
So you know how CBS had a town hall with Erica Kirk, practically canonizing her while she's still alive? CBS bet big on Bari Weiss and Erica Kirk and got a face plant instead. The much hyped CBS News Town Hall was one of the most heavily promoted specials of the season, with weeks of teasers, primetime promos, and social clips. Yet it still hemorrhaged top advertisers and only pulled in about 1.9 million viewers, which Variety called one of the least watched hours in broadcast television this season. That is a disaster night for a legacy network that expects its news brand to look serious. On the same week, CBS Evening News drew closer to 4.5 million viewers, while even a rerun of FBI cleared over 3 million, which makes the Weiss special look like a late night infomercial by comparison. When a supposedly marquee news event that the network blasted everywhere cannot even hang with scripted filler, it tells you viewers are not buying what this new culture war flavor is selling. For advertisers, wall to wall marketing plus low ratings plus backlash is the worst of both worlds. It's also a brutal look for a network that once carried Walter Cronkite, Edward Murrow, Dan Rather, Connie Chung, and Katie Couric as symbols of fact first journalism. Putting Bari Weiss at the center of CBS News makes that tradition feel like a costume the network no longer fits. Every flop like this, especially one they promoted this hard, chips away at the last bits of credibility that the CBS brand still has with people who remember when CBS News meant something. This is what Christian white nationalism, even though the Ellison family is Jewish, okay? You just got to follow along here. This is what happens when they all try to take over the media as one of the 7 pillars of Project 2025, just like they did in Hungary. This is what it looks like, pushing like this sinister Stepford wife character into everyone's family rooms. Anyway, go on. You can go on to recess now.
It didn't start like this. It started like this, all smiles. Well, I mean, maybe all smiles if that smile is real. So how exactly did we get to this? Well, it was just one question, and here's that question.
Mr. Candace Owens, okay? At one time, a friend of Charlie's, at one time, an employee of Turning Point. She has been one of the main peddlers of these conspiracies, and she is making a huge amount of money on it. She is building her business off of these lies. What do you want to say to her and the other people that are putting these lies out into the world right now? Stop. That's it. That's all I have to say. Stop.
So I'm actually kind of surprised by this, but the CBS town hall with Erica Kirk, they're actually bringing up some of Charlie Kirk's most notable quotes. And this is Erica's response when confronted about it.
Some gun deaths were, quote, unfortunately worth it to preserve the Second Amendment, he said. Acknowledging that he wishes he didn't feel this way, he said, I'm sorry, if I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified. He said the Civil Rights Act of 1964 was a mistake. Now, I realize that all of those quotes come from longer conversations that he had on his show. Correct. But he did say those things.
Did you see the smirk?
And Charlie is being memorialized by many people as a person who promoted civil discourse, as a person who said, come to the front of the line, let's have a civil conversation. How do you square that with the statements I just read?
I would love for everyone to be able to watch the full and entire clip of what he said. Charlie didn't care what skin color you were. He didn't care what religion you were. He loved excellence.
I'm going to pause it right there because he most definitely said he would think twice if there was a black pilot and wonder if they were actually qualified. He did say that transgender individuals are a throbbing middle finger to God. He also did say multiple times that Islam is not compatible with the West.
He loved knowing that people, his favorite word was earn. He loved knowing that people worked hard to earn what they got.
Let's have some fun with Bari Weiss. So first of all, the New York Times, and we'll talk about this later in the segment, New York Times did a like 30,000 word or something article.
New York Magazine, I was wrong. So this was New York Magazine.
Well, New York Times did a Jeffrey Epstein piece. So we'll talk about that in the back half of this segment. But yes, New York Magazine is out with a new a profile of Bari Weiss's return from the wilderness.
Of Los Angeles.
And we'll also talk about her town hall on Saturday night with Eric Kirk and how poorly the ratings turned out. But so tell us about this New York Magazine profile of Bari Weiss and like what do we learn about the way that she went from effectively fired but sort of quitting, pushed out of the New York Times, and now at the top of the kind of world of journalism.
Yeah, and if people don't remember, Bari Weiss was pushed out of the New York Times because she was writing journalism that made people uncomfortable over Me Too stuff. There were constant leaks about the New York Times, like internal Slack channel of people just like gossiping about Bari because honestly, a lot of it started with what she was writing on Me Too. And Bill Maher in this New York Magazine article talks about how he read that Me Too piece that Bari wrote. It went pretty viral at the time and said, I'm going to make this woman famous. So he's sort of trying to take credit for Bari Weiss to New York Magazine. But when it all started to crescendo was after the New York Times published that Tom Cotton op-ed, then retracted the Tom Cotton op-ed, the bunch of staffers at the time.
He said, send in the guard.
They put the headline on it that said, send in the troops. So it's June of 2020. And it said we should use the Insurrection Act to quell violent protests. It did specifically say violent protests. New York Times staffers posted in unison that the piece put Black New York Times staffers in danger. It became a very, very 2020 controversy. And James Bennett gets fired. Bari kind of self-deports after that to ends up with Nellie Bowles, who was also at the New York Times, a reporter at the New York Times, but married, now they have kids. They were in Los Angeles for a really long time. And what we learned from the story is that her arc at the Times, she'd been at the Journal before, her arc at the Times actually piqued the interest of some people in Los Angeles when she was originally blogging on her Substack called Common Sense, which turned into the Free Press. And this is interesting because there were salon dinners happening reportedly in LA. And I'd heard about some of this. I didn't know the extent of it with CEOs and Hollywood actors where Bari was being.
Hey, it's Joe from Georgia. Well, the Erica Kirk special interview on CBS, the numbers are in from the ratings. And folks, the numbers are amazingly low. 1.67 million people totaled watched all or part of this interview with Erica Kirk, you know, the wife of the former the assassinated leader of Turning Point USA, Charlie Kirk. This show that she did, 1.67 million people watched it. And it was on a Saturday night. And the reason it was on a Saturday night is because they wanted to put her on a better time spot, but they couldn't sell any advertising for it. No one was purchasing it. So the ratings are in. It was a total flop for CBS. And one of the big things that came from it are the people who were watching. Only 24% were in the age category of 24 to 54. Huge target of political parties. So Erica Kirk's special, it flopped.
My husband did something very simple. He talked to people. You're going to be murdered for talking to people. He didn't go after people. He went after your ideas.
So in that spirit, will you condemn the violent rhetoric of Donald Trump, the most powerful and influential person on earth?
CBS's new fascist sympathizing editor-in-chief, Bari Weiss, had Erica Kirk on for a 1-hour town hall last night that is currently backfiring on both parties and blowing up in their face. All I see here, crocodile tears. He didn't go after people. And believe me, folks, it is not just the memes, of which there are many, and don't worry, we will get to those, but it's also backfiring on CBS in a major way via their advertisers. And if you don't know who Bari Weiss is, you will very soon see, based on the clips I'm about to show you from this town hall, that she is quite literally turning CBS into a right-wing propaganda arm. I mean, we knew this was coming when Paramount did the bullshit with Stephen Colbert, with settling with Trump over his gripes about 60 Minutes. So they have been going downhill for a while, which is unfortunate. And frankly, folks, if nothing else, I think this story is the greatest example of why you should just stop watching the mainstream media and convert to independent media like here at Really American. It's a fucking disgrace. So let's first dive in here with some of the most insane and memorable moments from the town hall and take a look at some of the reactions.
I want to begin with the hours and days after your husband was murdered.
Yes.
You got up in his podcast studio where he broadcasted from for many hours every day.
Yeah.
And you said this.
Right off the bat, the switch up in like looks and look, ooh, I mean, look at how she's looking at the camera. Why is she mad at me? But it just feels very performative. And for this to be the first question Bari Weiss asks, it already feels like so sycophantic.
You said, you have no idea what you have just unleashed. What did you mean by that?
Let me give you a little background of that day.
Nah, I'm good, bro. I think we've all heard it before. And so you have people online chiming in with stuff like, I missed when we didn't know her. Anyway, look at the chicken bacon ranch loaded fries I got the other day. And how she feels in these interviews. Someone said, damn, she's still on tour. She should stop doing so many interviews. And then, you know, her crying, rubbing money on her face. So next, I'm not sure if you guys have seen any of the feuding between Erica Kirk and Candace Owens. Candace Owens has been putting forth a lot of, I guess you could call them conspiracy theories about Charlie Kirk's murder. But so Bari Weiss asks Erica about these conspiracies.
But notice how when he was murdered, they didn't go and grab a constitution. They grabbed a Bible. And once you get that Bible in your hands, the Constitution makes way more sense.
Thank you.
We have some pretty big news right now. The Erica Kirk town hall with CBS News saw a ratings flop, a downward in the ratings for CBS News. According to The Independent, the number of people that watched this town hall, well, it wasn't that much. It wasn't as much as CBS had hoped for. This was the town hall with Bari Weiss and Erica Kirk. It was airing on Saturday at the 8 p.m. hour. In total, 1.867 million people watched this, 265 of those being in the age category of 25 to 54. That's an 11% decline in total viewership and a 41% decline in viewership in the key 25 to 54 category. We knew, according to Variety before, that a lot of big advertisers weren't airing during this 1 hour slot. They were very wary of Bari Weiss's new programming regarding Erica Kirk. And now we see why, because the ratings, well, they're taking a dip. CBS used to be the station of Cronkite. Now it's anything but. Consider supporting my work by subscribing to my Substack at the link in my bio. Follow along for more.
Erica Kirk cost CBS money. This is according to Variety magazine, who said originally CBS planned to run her special town hall on Sunday during prime time, but they were unable to find advertisers that were willing to advertise their products during that time slot. So instead, they moved it to the notoriously low watch time of 8 p.m. on Saturday. Unless you're a sporting event, you don't get views for broadcast television. And in return, they still could not find anybody who was willing to pay for an advertising slot. So instead, they turned to direct support ads, notoriously low paying ads that are ran usually like Tuesdays for Price is Right, or a 50-year-old rerun in the middle of the week. Things for Gold, Super Beats, Garlic, even Chia Pets. Nothing against Chia Pets. I think they're great, but you wouldn't expect CBS to run an ad for Chia Pets in the middle of one of their most highly publicized and highly advertised town halls this year. And this is something that CBS wants to do going forward. But according to Variety magazine, every time they've delved into this type of political realm, the advertisers withdraw. And this time for Erica Kirk, they withdrew faster than they'd ever seen before.
So, y'all, if you did not watch this thing, you did not miss a thing. You didn't miss nothing. Apparently, a lot of people in this country skipped this town hall, despite the fact that they heavily advertised it. And as you can see, it's pretty bad when they couldn't get no sponsors. They couldn't get no sponsors to get behind this town hall. No company wanted their products to be advertised during this town hall. That says a lot. They don't want to bet. They don't want their companies associated with Turning Point USA and Erica Kirk. Okay, they don't want their companies associated with her. That should stay a lot. But see, they would have been smart if they didn't do this town hall at all. You know, I don't think they should have done it. This should have been untouchable to somebody like Erica Kirk to be able to do a town hall. I can see her doing stuff over on the right wing side, but that's it. It should not have gone beyond that. But mainstream, she should not be on mainstream at all. She's not ready for prime time. As you can see, she doesn't interview well. She's not a very well-spoken person. And on top of that, she does not come across well when she speaks. That's why a lot of people say she's phony when she speaks. She don't come across well. You know, she needs to get out of the camera anyway and go take care of her children. She's getting as bad as Candace Owens. She got all them young children at home and she's always in front of the camera. Y'all need to go home and take care of them young children you got. So, y'all, that's all I have. I'm going to rest up a bit. I am feeling a lot better, but I'm going to rest up a bit because I'm going to be on the live stream tonight watching and seeing if I can catch a glimpse of Three Eye Atlas when it do its pass by the Earth. So I don't know if I'm going to see anything, but I'm going to stay up and see if I can catch a glimpse. I did put the link to space.com in my community tab. If you did not catch it, just go over there. They're going to be live streaming at 11 o'clock Eastern time. There are other live streams, so if you don't particularly care for that one, there are going to be other live streams up. And so you can kind of choose between different ones if you want to watch it. So that's just one of many that will be going on tonight. Everybody is trying to get that glimpse of Three Eye Atlas. So everybody, I hope, if you're able to be up, and because I know many of you do work, it may not be possible for you to be up all night waiting to see this thing. We don't know when it's coming. We don't know when the pass by is coming. But I'm going to be up as long as I can, but, because I do have orders I have to work on tomorrow. And please don't forget, if you are interested in getting products, I will be getting orders out first thing in the morning. So if you want to get your orders in, as long as you get it in before midnight, it will go out tomorrow morning and you will get your 30% off. And I did make the announcement on my other live. I will be getting my jars. The vendor that I work with, they're going to resend the jars to me, since it's been quite some time and I still have not gotten my jars. They're going to reship the jars. So hopefully next week I will be able to list the edge cream that everybody's been waiting for. So I just hope and pray that I will get that listed again for all of you, because I know some of you have been waiting and been reaching out, asking me, when is that going to be listed again? Hopefully real soon. And if it's not listed before the 24th, what I will do, because I have not been able to list it during the sale, I will put it on sale even if it's after the 24th. So that's what I will do. I will put it on sale even if it's after the 24th. That way it'll give many of you that did not get a chance to purchase it, you'll have a chance to purchase it. So y'all, please enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will see you all tomorrow. Shalom, family.